Hey there, everybody. I hope you are doing well as can be expected during these times, right? I am Afefe with Touch by Tarot and Beyond. If you are new to the channel, I'm glad you're here. I am a certified tarot reader and oracle reader, and I'm also a priestess in pagan and African traditions initiated, and I am a former newspaper journalist, so that gives you an idea of how I approach the readings here on this channel. Do a lot of political readings. I am being pulled more and more, you all, to try and focus more on our spiritual health, our mental health, and lean into that side instead of just the constant, the drama that we're undergoing, the really very real threats that we see being played out in the world around us, and certainly here in America. So I'm gonna lean into that a little bit more, because I think the need for that is growing greater. And in fact, to that end, I'm starting a private monthly first Fridays, a spiritual politics Zoom that I'm going to host. I'll do readings, but also it's a space for people to gather in a safe space to share their ideas, to strategies, support for one another. So there's a link, if you're interested in that, there's a link for how to join that, sign up for it. I'll put it in the description below. I am charging a small fee for it, and my reason for that, you all, not going to get rich off of that, but my reason for that is I'm being very deliberate. Spirit is leading me to be very deliberate about who is allowed in those spaces. They won't be recorded. It truly is. I'm trying to create a space for people who are undergoing really, it's a tough time. And we need spaces to have dialogue, to have conversation, to have a think tank sort of environment, to have a spiritual place to go and consult. Like I said, I'll have my cards. But I figure if I put a small fee in that, then that attracts more serious people versus those who may want to just be disruptive, etc. Right? So I hope that makes sense. Again, if you're interested, I'll put the link below. Wow, what a week we've had with, I'm going to call him F47. Many of you recommended that to me, and I like that for fake 47. Some said that F kind of meant some other things to me as well, like F47, right? so I'm going to use that. Yeah, this week has been quite, this last 7 days since the 20th, well, taking this on Sunday, the 26th. Wow. Very concerned for federal workers, veterans, so many announcements that have been made, just bad, just really, the impact is going to be bad. But I want to take a look at F47 going into the month of February, remembering too that Mike Johnson has invited him to address Congress on March 4th. If I've got my dates right, that's going to be in anticipation of or right before Congress is going to be headed into deliberations around government funding, right? That next hurdle for government funding. And this idea that, this bullying around raising the debt ceiling, that's coming up to play as well. So you all, going into my meditation before I started recording this morning, Spirit said very, very loud and clear, F47, Trump, is on a very short leash. He's on a very short leash. So much of what he's doing there's going to be a backlash. There's going to be, think about it, mass deportations. We're already seeing it play out. Crops on farms. We've got citrus farms where the crops are already deteriorating because people are not showing up for work. Immigrants are not showing up for work. They're afraid. So what happens, if as those farms go, as agriculture goes, the loans on their equipment, etc., it's going to start to crash and burn. And unfortunately, it's a very sad pain that many of us are probably going to see play out at the supermarkets, etc. But we're not going into, Spirit is being really clear, you all, that we're not going into annihilation. And I want to emphasize that we're not going, we're not going to be starved. We're not going to have situations where, we're all reduced to canned goods, spam and tuna, right? It's not going to get to that point, because there is this backlash this resistance to him, Right now, everybody's still bending the knee. Yes, 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 because they're in survival mode, right? They're in this peer pressure mode. But that is going to shift. I want to take a look at him. Right now, he's having his little glory, victory lap. Not lasting. Spirit is being really clear. This man is on a short leash. Ooh, what just came? The Eight of Cups. People are going to get tired of it and walk away from him. And walk away from what they thought he stood for. Thinking as well. Patriots. Those, veterans who are going to be severely impacted by him. The hiring freeze that now they backtracked on it a little bit, I think, as regards to mental health or healthcare workers within the VA. But still, all other aspects of it where veterans are going to suffer. These were some of his ideal patriots who turned out and voted for him, right? We have other workers. We have law enforcement. After the Jan 6 pardons, law enforcement, the Fraternal Order of Police who endorsed him. There are so many factions around the country who really supported F47, who are going to definitely be directly impacted. It's not even about ideology. It's about the money and the benefits that were going to impact people's lives, that they're going to see the complete opposite happen. Unfortunately, that is all across the board where so many Americans are going to be affected. But I want to take a look at him, Spirit, between now and March. So let's say the next 6 weeks. F47, show me him. We've got the Page of Swords. New things being said about him, new assessments being made of him. That's in the center. Like they just showed me like a veil starting to fall from people's eyes and going, wait a minute, what the heck did we really do here? The Two of Pentacles, exactly, having to really make some different assessments and decisions about how they want to partner with this man, right? Government, I'm talking about specifically government leaders and world leaders. They're not happy. And they are the European Union, France, Germany, even though they've got their own issues going on, for sure. We've got, what's his name? Doug Ford, I believe is his name, out of Canada, saying, yo, dude, if you want to play hardball, bring it. Watch me. Watch what we do here in Canada. We know Scheinbaum down in Mexico is like, I'm willing to work with you. We'll do certain things to continue our relations, but don't think you're going to steamroll us. So there's that's what this Two of Pentacles is talking about, you all. There's this reassessment of, if we're going to partner, you're not nobody's daddy in this situation, right? All right, let's keep going. At the base, I'm doing a Celtic cross. At the base of the staff, I've got the Strength card. I think this is Spirit saying a re-emergence of people having to reevaluate both citizens and governmental leaders, especially on the state level, because so much of what's happening is going to fall back on the states, you all. That's this, dismantling federal government leaves who holding the bag for services, for healthcare, for the economy, for the economic conditions of their individual states. That's what the Strength card is. It's people having to step into their own, taking responsibility for the role that they are playing in all of this. And it's going to be a backlash. In the recent past, for Trump, we have the King of Cups. That's Biden. And you know what? There's going to be a reassessment by a lot of people that comparatively, all of this trash talking, all of this disrespect, all of this horrible energy that's been directed towards Joe Biden, there's going to be a reassessment and understanding. And also, a lot of what he did was on the back of Biden, dogging his economic policies, telling outright lies about the progress that was being made under Joe Biden. But that was part of his impetus. That was part of his sales pitch. And Spirit is saying that the veil is falling, and people are going to say, wait a minute, we actually were doing better under a Biden administration than we are now. And Spirit just gave me a confirmation. When I just crossed my card for Biden, the King of Pentacles, they call it inkwells in this deck. Here he comes, the Emperor. I get him all the time. I get F47 as the Emperor all the time. But of course, in a more braggadocious bullying aspect, when the Emperor is not operating in his divine energy, but more, my way or the highway kind of thing. So this was much of what he's done, and what he's trying to do now is to set this stage for how diametrically opposed he is to what Biden put in place. But that is people are going to realize strength. Wait a minute. This is not playing out the way it was supposed to. Up above, we have the Six of Cups. Exactly. Looking back and reassessing the past. The past was not so bad after all, when we look at what seems to be playing out here in the future. Spirit, Trump in the near future, next 6 weeks. Before March, before he goes before Congress. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Who is that, Spirit? Queen of Pentacles energy. And Justice. Queen of Pentacles and Justice. I almost feel like this is divine energy here. This is divine feminine energy here. Pentacles coming in the sense of, again, costs, the economy, people being out of jobs, people, again, our hearts going out to federal workers who are under extreme tension and stress right now. Even if they still have a job, you better tell us if you know something that's going wrong. All of that. And justice, meaning our government, meaning people recognizing that justice is not being served. This is coming up in the near future. I also think, remember too, that who was it, Murkowski and the other one who stood firm and voted against Hegseth's confirmation, although, we know what happened. Vance broke the tie. But there is a return to this. We cannot allow people to suffer. We cannot, the whole idea of wealth and the oligarchy and the power moves and all of that, if this is how it's playing out, that people are actually suffering, not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's such a backlash that's coming his way. And here he is, the fool. He's going to have to start scrambling, you all, because remember, this man is never somebody who truly ever wanted to govern, still does not want to govern. What he wanted was to stay rich, help others get rich, promise the riches to others in order to put him into places of power. But he's going to have to start scrambling. That's how he is. He realizes, I never really wanted this, didn't want it the first time. It was all about branding. It was all about money. And there's the moon around him. That is the crises, the never-ending crises that are going to crop up around him. Because remember, the moon is what is not seen that gets revealed. And there is a revelation that he's having within himself. He's too old for this. His health is deteriorating. His capacity to continue to all these planes he's been hopping on, and he seems to be re-energized and all of that. No, that is going to diminish, and quickly. Hopes and fears, Spirit. 7 of Wands. Bluster, but what's in the tank to maintain that bluster? And how do you continue to rally the troops around you to continue to carry out the lie? That's what Spirit is saying. It's so much. And the 8 of Wands comes behind it. It's so much. That's the outcome card. There's a swift, I feel like this is a swift downward, his fortunes changing like that, changing on a dime, because the 8 of Wands moves quickly. It's fire. It moves quickly. Spirit, help me understand that a little more, even on that 8 of Wands. The High Priestess. I know many readers and even the general public and other political pundits, research and investigative organizations have said there is still something to come out around the election, around the legitimacy of this election and in November, and how it was tampered with, how it was fraudulent, how there were things that happened. Why that has now come out already, why that, that's what this is speaking to. The high priestess says what is unknown becomes known. There are decisions that have to be made. And this is also divine energy, the high priestess also being very, very tied to the moon, you all. This is about revelations. But I think because I'm reading specifically on his energy, I think whether or not, well, he's never going to say it. He's never going to own up or admit to any sort of deficiency on his end. But man, is he about to start feeling it. We have the Queen of Cups and the Five of Wands. There's a resistance to him, not only within women around him, but this is, Susie Wiles, okay, because we've been hearing she's about the only thing that he's really got propping him up and has been propping him up and helped him get thus far. Susie Wiles, Five of Wands. He's going to reach a point where he stops taking her advice. Okay, not mad at it, right? But that's what's going to happen. There's a Four of Pentacles, stubbornness setting in. I'm telling you this is the way you need to do it, and him blustering back and saying, you don't tell me what to do anymore. You served the purpose to get me here. We saw in that last administration the turnover. Oh, okay, I'm not down with you anymore. You're out, you're out, you're out, you're out. Watch. Spirit, what else around him? And the world. Because this is so multi-pronged, you all. I said a moment ago going into this reading, the European Union, NATO, he's now starting to backtrack a little bit on this World Health Organization pullout. There's so many things within the global stage that he realizes he cannot bully the world into following his edicts. And there's the Ten of Cups. There's a crescendo. And I feel like in this instance, normally this is a pretty happy card, Ten of Cups. It's, celebration, satisfaction. But this is the American people and the world stage coming together and saying, this isn't what you are doing, is the exact opposite of what you promised us. And thank you, Spirit, is giving me a confirmation. When I pull aces and I say something, an ace is like a yes card. So Ace of Swords, the messaging. This ain't what we this has nothing to do with what you promised us. Our prices are still up, still can't afford groceries. The job market is tanking. Where are people going to go who are being laid off from these federal jobs, etc., right? Where are veterans going to go? What kinds of services are you giving them? The military being put into positions that they are not even supposed to technically do with these mass deportations. He's not in a good space, you all. He's not in a good space at all. He won't be. And clearly not feeling sorry for him with that. But I hope that's encouraging in terms of this is tough. It is really, really tough to see the headlines day after day after day and to watch the moves that he's making. But Spirit said he is on a short leash. I heard it loud and clear. He is on a short leash. And that leash is going to get yanked. And when it gets yanked, he's going to feel like, whoa. And the people around him then immediately, none of these people are friends. None of these people are loyal. You think, you really? And he knows that. He knows they're not loyal to him. All right, you all. Spirit told me to close out. By the way, somebody's going to ask, because you always do, the tarot deck that I read from today is the Banned Books Tarot, which is really interesting. Okay, so that's if you're interested in that, Banned Books Tarot. And I was told to pull a couple of oracle cards for you, especially federal workers, veterans, others who feel, people who are wondering about their 401ks, savings, all of that. Yeah, Spirit, please give me a message to share, closing out this reading and going forward. In the next 6 weeks, holding on and watching things play out. A lot of patience that we have to have right now. And also, I just heard choosing our beliefs. Are we going to believe in the worst outcome, or are we going to stand fast and believe in a better outcome? That ultimately, yeah, it's going to hurt. It ain't going to tickle. But ultimately, this is not going the way that he wants it to go and that they've designed to go. This whole toxic male, predominantly white male, oath keepers kind of energy. There's more of us than there are of them. Us collectively. All right, we have cleanse. You are the water. Cry, sweat, drink, soak, swim to refresh. I love that. It's a cleansing of our timelines. It's a cleansing of our consumption of what kinds of stories we're choosing to believe. It's a cleansing of our own selves, our energies, how we get through day to day. Another message, please, Spirit. Like really choosing how we decide. And gratitude just came. Remember when you wanted what you have, and now give thanks. A grateful heart is a magnet for love and abundance. Really interesting message, because sometimes it's hard, especially right now when all we're hearing is the doom and gloom. It's hard to stop and give thanks. But you know what? That's exactly what helps turn this energy. Remember what we're going through. It is all energetic. And as horrible as this is right now, these, if you look historically at how things tides have changed and the challenges, etc., that different timelines have gone through, the gratitude factor. I know that we will be okay. I know that I have what I need for me and my family, and the world has what they need. Praying for immigrants, especially those who are here lawfully, who are trying to take care of their families. Praying for them, having gratitude for all of the joys and the blessings that we still enjoy, no matter what, of all, all the other chaos that's going on. Like standing in that helps send a vibration to continue to attract that toward us. All right. Not trying to be Pollyannish at all. I get it. Like, this is really effed up. It is on so many levels. It's effed up. But energetically, that's the message from Spirit, is tap into that cleansing, tapping into, taking care of your body, drinking more water, detoxifying your thoughts, believing in humanity and the goodness of humanity versus the idea that humanity's going to hell in a handbasket. Like, choose. Okay, you all? All right, I hope that was helpful. And I will talk to you again in a couple of days. Be really safe out there. Remember, our chin up, our shoulders back, relax, cleanse. All right. And I'm grateful for you. And I wish you all the best. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.